Good evening, back again. Another short, quick video. Uh, Always just a little confirmation on some things I spoke about, but just didn't have time, never have time to fully break things down at the moment due to these ongoing ending transitions I'm dealing with that got me moving here and there. And but I always have to put the truth out because it's my job, and I know what's going on in this world, especially now, because I've never had the Holy Spirit, Christ, push me more now than ever to just do something every day. That's how I know the time is near, you know. And like I see a lot of things, and and my job is to speak upon these things that are totally false. But like I said, I share these truths. People have their own beliefs, their own minds, whatever, you know. And I say that because I don't need people to keep coming from different platform or either this platform here on Facebook saying anything to me about, if you just don't want to believe, then you just don't want to believe. That's just bottom line. I'm not trying to force nobody, make nobody believe nothing. That's why I always say I share. Okay? So now we got that out of the way. Let's move on to Luke 16:19. And this is concerning about death. Because I tell you, man, this superficial world has really uh, gotten people living over the top, way over the top. They've gone over Godhead with these beliefs that they have choose to believe in through technology and all this AI intelligence. All this stuff comes from the devil, people. This stuff's not coming from God. God made the world, and he put everything in it, but not everything. He really didn't. A lot of this stuff is formed and made by man through Satan. you know, and because I'm not getting into all of this right now, but the truth is, people, we are all spiritual beings. We are all wired together through the universe, and that's how I know God didn't put a lot of these things here because we're not here to be dependent upon a lot of the things that are put here that we're taught to depend on. And now it's so much of it, and it has programmed the world that you almost have no other choice but to depend on it. But you don't, though. You know what I'm saying? Once you become in the righteous zone and spiritually, we learn to depend on our spirituality. You know, even though we still have to use these devices and things, but we know how far to go with them. Versus people that are in the flesh, they don't know how far to go with them. These things take control over them. And to the fact where you got people believing that they can buy another whole life. You got people think they can buy another whole body. But people, listen. This is why it's important to read the word. This is all going to pass away. Everything and everybody. Period. And So yeah, like I said, I think it's Luke 16:19. Now there was a certain rich man who was habitually dressed in expensive purple and fine linen. Say habitually dressed mean that, you know, see, people always use, these material or superficial things to influence people the wrong way, because they use these things as power. But like I said, there's no power in this world. There's no power, people. There's no power in no objects. No power. Um, and celebrate it and live joyously in splendor every day. And a poor man named Lazarus was laid at his gate, covered with sores. He longed to eat the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Besides, even the dogs were coming and licking his sores. Now, this is what I was talking about, like the righteous and the unrighteous, about how they die. And see, the thing about the lives we live, they're all learning experiences. But see, in the flesh, it ain't so much you're gonna learn, you know, because see, without spiritual discernment, you never know who you're dealing with. You never know what you're entertaining. You don't know if you're entertaining a demon or an angel. Um, so it say, now it happened that the poor man died, and his spirit was carried away by the angels, by the angels to Abraham's bosom. See, Lazarus, um, there was an angel with him disguised as this poor person. He was righteous, but he was put there to try to teach this, rich man a lesson, to get him to see, how he was going to respond to how he was, which he failed, of course. And because this scripture has a lot to do with how we, treat people. And as you can tell, Satan has got this world in a wreck where, it's just people just living through this superficial stuff where it's all about competition and all this, nonsense. And it's destroying people in, many ways in many different levels. So it said, and the rich man also died and was buried. See, the righteous went on, but the rich man died in his flesh, so he was buried. In Hades, being in torment, he looked up and saw Abraham far away and Lazarus in his bosom, which is a paradise. See how it switched around? So that's how it's going to do. That's why I was saying last week that there's a lot of people here now that's living for this world. They're not going to have nothing because they're not doing anything that's putting nothing in their spiritual account. It's all, they're living all for this temporary world. And hell is there, but God don't send most people straight to hell. I believe God sends some people to hell just for the experience, just for them to, you know, because everybody have to experience something to tell something. And but even though you can't believe everybody, but that's something else. That's going on something else. But anyway, and he cried out, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus so that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. God Almighty. And see, that's what I be saying, people. This stuff, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It ain't worth it. You know, and see, pride is a destroyer. It is a destroyer. Because pride relates too much to idolatry, you know. And it's just, you know, it just destroys people. You know, it destroys everything about a person. About how they deal with people, how they treat people, even how they even treat themselves. Pride ain't no joke. And that's why God, he don't like, he hates pride. And he talks about that. And he said, because I am in severe agony in this flame. My question, just tell me what's worth that, people. What is it that you can look at that can feel that is worth being inflamed forever? What is worth crossing God to go through that forever? Your flesh will never understand that. That's why you got to get in the spirit. But Abraham said, son, remember that in your lifetime you receive your good things, and Lazarus likewise bad things. But now he is comforted here while you are in severe agony. And that's why people, you know, when you choose to live righteous and live a humble life, you never have to be jealous of the wicked. Never. Because it's all going to turn around. God going to make it turn around. It's all going to turn around, you know, for the good. Never be jealous of the wicked. Never. Ever. Let's see. And besides all this, between us and you, a great chasm has been fixed, so that those who want to come over from here to you will not be able, and none may cross over from there to us. So the rich man said, then, Father, I beg you to send Lazarus to my father's house, for I have 5 brothers, in order that he may solemnly warn them and witness to them, so that they too will not come to this place of torment. And that's what I was just saying earlier, you know, that's the only reason why God will allow some people to go straight to hell, is for the experience to warn, you know, others, because God don't want to put no human in hell. He didn't build hell for humans. He built hell strictly for Satan and his demons. And because there are disobedience. But humans that will go there would be because of the disobedience and not repenting. But that's also what his wrath is for too, though. His wrath is it's the second coming, which means that is the last chance people are going to get. But it's going to be severe torment, though. It's going to be hell, but it's just going to still be on earth. It's going to be real hell on earth for those that are caught up in it. It's not worth it, people. I've seen it. It's not worth it. It is totally not worth it. There's nothing on this planet that's worth it. There ain't enough money. There ain't enough yachts. There ain't enough swimsuits or handsome, good looking. There ain't nothing worth it. Nothing. Zero. And you know, Satan has gotten this world totally out of control. And it's so far out of control that it can't be fixed. The only thing we can do at this point is just help wake as many people up as possible to avoid God's wrath. Because this world is over. It's done. You know, you got this election coming up. It's messed up either way. But like I said, it's just going to be worse if you put that woman in there. It's going to be worse. Because that's what Satan wants. But either way, you know, it's still, you know, it's never going to serve the purpose of humans, because it's all demonic. And it always has been. Always has been. But it's just gotten to the point now where things are just, you know, it's all out of control. It's because it has to fail. Everything that has been built off wickedness has to fail, and it's going to fail. And that's why Satan is here. Because he's rebuilding another whole system, which also going to fail. But like I said, it's going to fail, but it's not about the fact that it's going to fail. It's about what he's going to accomplish out of it. You know, the world is never going to be the same, which is, it ain't no good now. It ain't never has been any good. But when I say not the same, like, you know, it's basically going to be pretty much, you know, it's only going to just boil down to what I've been saying for the past few years. Which side you're going to be on. Because there's not going to be no more in between left. There ain't going to be no more in between left, you know. Especially for those to get sucked up in his new world order. And see, and that's what all this technology, all this AI, all of this stuff is going according to Satan's plan. Because it's the prophetic dream that I had 15 years ago. But God showed me that that's what he's doing. He's going to use technology to slave people. I mean, literally. You know? And I'm seeing it come together. I'm seeing it come together as I saw it in my dream. It's all coming together. You know, while people worrying about election, gas prices and oil and, man, grocery and all this crazy stuff, man, we're not even here for that, people. We ain't on this planet for that. We're on this planet to serve God. And he will take care of the rest. We're not on this planet to be looking for another human being to supply our needs. Seriously. So anyway, yeah, bottom line. Like I said, the righteous go on. And those who choose to, you know, die in their flesh, die in their sins, will just be buried. And that's it. Until Judgment Day. And then you rise back up and get caught up in the midst of God's wrath, which is going to be not good. Not good at all. And then after that, that's when he decides where you're going to go, where you're going to be. So anyway, but the best thing to do is just get on the right track. That's what my teachings is all about. Trying to help wake people up to get on the right track. Because once you're on the right track, then hey, when you're righteous, you're good to go. So anyway, um, just quick something I had to put out real quick, and I'll be talking to you again. Have a good evening.